Hey guys, how's it going? Dudey here. I am back with another video. Well, this video is a little bit special, to be honest. So this is kind of a 2021 roundup, if you like. What an incredible year it has been. Thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart for all of the support. We're so close to achieving my decade-long dream of reaching 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. I think we've gained around 25,000 subscribers this year, which is absolutely amazing. Also started a Facebook page only a month ago, and as of recording has around 82,000 followers, so the support on there has been amazing as well. It's just been a fantastic year for this channel. Before I do it, as I always say, please like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thank you very much. So what I've done today is I have selected 5 of what I would say are the darkest or most gruesome cases that I have looked into and brought to you in 2021. So without further ado, let's get into it. In at number 5, we have the horrific murders of Dennis Nilsen. This case is very different. Normally, when you have a murder case, when you have a killer, you will have victims and then there will be a hunt for the killer. Well, this case is kind of backwards. Although they did initially start with some remains, the killer gave himself up instantaneously and basically wouldn't shut up and almost gloated. So what happened was Dynarod, which is a company that is essentially like they fix drains. Yeah, if your drain is blocked, they'll come along and they'll unblock it for you. Dynarod received a call out to 23 Cranley Gardens because there was a blockage in the drainage system. So the guy came out and he found the cause of the issue, and it seemed to be, from a non-professional observation, human remains, bones, flesh, rotting, filling up and blocking the drainage system. So naturally he called the police, and the police got there and they confirmed that yes, these are indeed human remains, and the drainage guy deduced that this was coming from the top floor flat, which belonged to Des Nilsen. So they cordoned it off, they're doing their investigation, and Des Nilsen just happens to calmly walk home from work. And as he does so, the police are obviously there, and they're like, right, you, what's going on here? And Des actually says that he's a bit confused, that police want to know why his drains are blocked. But they take him up into his flat, and instantaneously the odour of rotting corpses, flesh, death hits the police officers, and one of the inspectors says to Des, right, cut the shit, where is the rest of the body? Okay, up next, what I've put at number 4. This monster killed over 200 people. The Harold Shipman murders. He wasn't very liked amongst the practice. He was seen as very arrogant. By all accounts, the junior staff thought he was a bit of a dickhead. Little did they know how much of a dickhead this man really was. Now, as I said, Harold Shipman, over the course of, I think, 28 years, wrongly prescribed drugs and murdered patients via overdoses that he administered himself, and he would alter the medical records to fit the narrative that he was going to put forward. Now, over the course of all this time, you'd think, surely, like, how is no one cottoning on? Well, a few people along the way did. First and foremost, a local undertaker who essentially kind of cottoned on that, bloody hell, it's another patient of Harold Shipman. Is this not a bit odd to anyone? Plus, all of these poor people that have died seem to be seated in their living room quarters, fully clothed, and this really bothered him. And so he approached Harold Shipman directly. He was like, look, this is very odd. What is going on here? But Harold Shipman was just like, don't worry about it. It's just people die. This is just what happens, you know? There's nothing suspicious here. And so he dropped it. However, there was another person, a colleague of Harold Shipman, Dr. Susan Booth, who also picked up on this pattern and thought it was very bizarre. And she went a step further. She didn't go to Harold Shipman and hear his bullshit. She went to a coroner, and the coroner also thought, yeah, odd. And so they put it forward to police. Next up, I am just going to give you a kind of graphic content warning, not visually, but verbally. This is the Cannibal Cafe Killer, mutilation and murder with consent. They sit down, and the first thing that they agree to do is to remove and eat Brandes' penis. And the way that they initially go about that is, and I apologise, this is just really hard for me to say for obvious reasons. So Brandes wants Armin to bite his penis off, and that proves to be harder than they initially thought it would be, although apparently he does successfully bite through Brandes' testicles, but the biting isn't working for the penis, and so Armin decides to get a knife, and the first knife he uses is too blunt, so he has to go and get a sharper one, and with the sharper knife removes said phallus. And that was probably the hardest paragraph I've ever had to try and convey on camera. Okay, up next for you, what I've selected, I have to say, this one broke my heart researching, and the feelings didn't leave me for a few days. It's the harrowing torture and murder of Sylvia Likens. Lester approached Gertrude and asked if she would take in Sylvia and Jenny whilst him and the rest of the family would go and work far away at the carnival earning money, and he would send a cheque for $20 a week to look after his daughters for him. Gertrude assured Lester that she would take care of his daughters as if they were her own until he returned. And for the first 2 weeks, it was relatively calm. There wasn't too much abuse or any kind of red flags until a few of the payments started getting a bit inconsistent, late by a few days, and Gertrude would take out all of her frustration out on the girls. And so this is where the abuse began. Initially, Gertrude beat both the girls with a thick wooden paddle. She would scream statements such as, "Well, I took care of you two bitches all week for nothing." And finally, the video that takes the top spot for 2021. It is incredibly disturbing. It's the sick and twisted Leonard Lake tapes. Now, Leonard Lake had constructed a building next to the cabin known as the Dungeon, and this is where the murders, the rape and kidnapping took place. Now, before Charles joined Leonard, it is believed that Leonard had murdered his brother Donald, as well as a few other people, before Charles began assisting in Leonard's fantasies. They would kidnap, capture, lure families to this location, killing the children and the men immediately, and keeping the women for torture, rape, and general kind of jobs around the house and things like cleaning, cooking, and things like that.
While you're here, we'll keep you busy. You'll wash for us, you'll clean for us, cook for us, you'll cook for us.
They kidnapped their neighbour, Lonnie Bond, his girlfriend, Brenda O'Connor, and their son, Lonnie Jr. Lonnie Jr. was just a baby at the time. Leonard and Charles murdered both the father and the son soon after kidnapping, but didn't actually reveal to the mother what had happened to them, and actually taunted her by saying that they had well, do you know what? Here's the clip.
Your baby is going to be taken away. Excuse me.
I'm going to be taken away.
There's a family down in Fresno that doesn't have a baby.
You're not taking my baby.
Sad and the baby's dead, right?
I think they got one now. That's my baby.
Brenda, you have a... Her baby is sound asleep, like a rock. You don't like it, but I'd like me to put it in writing?
So there we go, guys. It's safe to say it's been a disturbing year here on the channel, but obviously, you know, we all share a love on this channel for true crime cases. We also share a love, I'm sure, for the world of the paranormal. And I also have, coming up this week, my top moments from all of the haunted explorations that I've done this year. So look out for that one. But once again, I just want to reiterate my thanks to you guys for your support this year on the channel. If you haven't already, please type in Dudey Rhino over on Facebook and like that as well. Let's get that to 100k. It's taken me nearly 10 years to get this to 100k. It looks like the Facebook page is going to be on 100k within 2 months, which is absolutely insane. But yeah, just look, I hope you've had a great 2021, especially considering the circumstances within the world right now, and I hope that you're all staying safe. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. I hope you have a wonderful new year. I hope 2022 is a lot better than 2020 and 2021 has been, right? So yeah, thanks again. I'll be back next year. I hope that you enjoy what I do here, and hey, I'll probably see you in a look back at 2022 in a year's time as well. So yeah, and in between that, there's going to be a lot of content, so look forward to that. Thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you very soon. Sweet one, goose.